Okay, in today's tutorial I am going to show you how to submit your executed listing package or your executed agreement of sale package to Liberty Bell's conveyancing office. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is open up your loop for that transaction, whether it is a listing transaction or a buyer's transaction. Remember that your transactions should be named according to the address with the full address. That's the street number, the street name, the city name, the state, and the zip code, as you see here. In addition to that, your transactions should have folders within them. If it's a listing loop, then you would have listing folder. And if it was a buyer's folder, you would have the address still of the property, and then you would have offer folder. If it is a listing contract, you would have a listing folder initially that would get submitted, and as you had your offers come in, you would create an offer folder that you should name with the buyer's last name. Okay. So what I want to show you now is the seller's agent checkoff list for all listing contracts that are going to be submitted to the office. You must have the listing contract, the consumer notice, the Liberty Bell business relationship, a seller's estimate of closing costs, a mortgage payoff request if there is a mortgage. If you had any changes after the listing contract was completed, you would do a change to listing contract, and then you would need the seller's property disclosure. There might be additional forms required based on the type of listing, but in most cases these would be the forms that you would need. Let's look at the seller's agent's checkoff list. When you pull up a file, it's going to ask you to associate the seller, and you would assign the seller, and it will auto-populate that form for you. As you can see here, it filled in my seller's name and email address. You would go in and fill in the relevant information and check off all the files that you have with this. Remember, before you submit to the office, you should have completed all the documents and uploaded them to dotloop. So you want to fill out this form to the best of your ability. When you have all your documents completed, you're going to submit for review. You will find that button or tab up in the top right under your list of icons for different functions within the dotloop program. So you're going to click on submit for review. If you have not filled out all of your information, it will request that you put in that information at this time. And then you would hit next anytime it asks for additional information. Then at the next stage, you would decide whether you wanted the listing folder, or if you had other folders, as in the case here I have an offer folder, you would select that. You would select, in this case I'm selecting the listing folder. Then you will need to select the type, and in this case it's a listing, and then you can write a message to Shatrice when you submit this. So in this case I'm going to tell Shatrice to ignore and then you would hit submit. And then when you've done that, it will go to Shatrice. It will now tell you that those particular files have been submitted, any that were completed, and then she will review those files. And that is all you need to do to submit a file for review with Liberty Bell Real Estate. Remember that you are only submitting executed listings or executed agreement of sales. That means that for a listing, that's when you have the listing and that your seller has signed your listing contract, and for a agreement of sale, it's when the sellers have accepted your buyer's offer. We do not need any forms until it is an executed listing contract or an executed agreement of sale. All right, thank you.